Hello, welcome to Project Cars 2 with Mistex24. We are again doing the A to Z Bathurst time trial. We are driving car number 23 today, which is the Bentley Continental GT3 2016 model. I picked one of the three, like I said in the last video. I didn't drive all of them. Actually, this is the only one I've driven, to be quite honest with you. Um, I may go drive the 24-hour one just to see if maybe it's a little different. I may drive the other one too, but I'm not going to do it right now. We're just going to go along with this one because I assume they're probably pretty close. Time-wise, they're going to be close. Handling-wise, I'm assuming they're pretty much the same car. Maybe set up a little differently default. The 24-hour car sometimes is. Not always, though. We are going to be running the first place Ghost again today. Racecraft 7. Haven't quite been able to take him down, but been pretty close. Driving against him, I was able to bring my time down another 0.7-ish just by following him. So I'm going to keep following him, and hopefully we can keep our lap times fairly consistent so we don't have to do any jump cuts or anything. That'd be great. Not saying that's going to happen, but you never know. Let's go to my tune, shall we? So I started with the default, and the Ghost actually is not running a tune. He is on default, which, bravo, might I say. I haven't gone back and driven it on the default again just to see what I really can do with it. It was the first thing I did with it. I ran like a 206, I think, on the default, so, and I wasn't pushing the car terribly hard at that point. So I could see that. It doesn't handle a whole lot different than it did from the default. A little bit more to my liking, so we've got, just automatic by weather. Run hard slicks. That's what I usually run here, which is what they put on. We got tire pressure at 20.60 in the front and 20.31 in the rear. These were a little bit lower, I believe, at the start. I've got the brake pressure set to 96%. Brake balance 56 in the front and 44 in the rear. I've dropped both front duct and rear duct for the brakes to 20%. A little bit less drag. Downforce is set to 1 in the front and 5 in the rear. This is actually the default setting. I have not changed that. Let's see here. So, the ride height was, in the front, I know it was at 300. I found the front of the car in particular was bouncing on a certain part of the track, and I seemed to be losing traction, so I decided I'll make the front and the rear the same difference that they were, except I'll move them down. I think I moved them both down 1 or 2 ticks, I believe. So I've settled at 280 on the front, and I actually lowered the rear, or I softened the rear a bit more, maybe 2 or 3 ticks from where it was, after I had moved them both the same. Because it's got quite a bit of oversteer. It still oversteers a bit, which is fine, because oversteering is not a bad thing. It's just you don't want too much of it a lot of times, or you want just enough that you can control it. I changed the toe angle to 0 in the front. Seems to feel pretty good so far. I don't think I've changed anything else here. Dampers. I'm sorry if you hear that helicopter in the background. Sounds like a life flight. Bump stop. I set to 11 millimeters front and rear. I think it was at 10 on the default. I don't believe I changed any of the front dampers, but the rear I did. I believe I went up on the rear slow bump. I tried going down, but I had already changed the slow rebound. Went down, I think, 1 on it already, so I decided to go back up on the slow bump, which technically should make it oversteer a bit more. And then I changed the bump transition, which is kind of reading about it over here. At the bottom it says, if you tune this together with slow and fast bump, you can set the slow bump to a stiffer value with a low bump transition rate to achieve a stiffer initial dampening. So that's basically what I did. I got the feeling that the rear end was maybe compressing not properly. So I thought maybe if I just made the rear a bit stiffer from the dampers, maybe the weird back end movement would stop, and it did calm it down a bit, so it seemed to have worked. Boost pressure at 100%. Air restrictor 42.1. Radiator I set to 10%. The usual time trial stuff. I did have it on 0, but the motor gets hurt quite a bit by the end. So we've got one engine braking. I believe this is the default gear ratio. You cannot go up and down on the final drive. I did try lengthening or making the gears so each gear is longer. I went down on each one of these up to 5th gear because 6th gear doesn't go any further. So I just wasn't using 6th gear, but I didn't really care for that, so I went back to the default. Traction control is set to 1%, which cuts power at lower wheel slip. So it's like it's as low as it'll go. It's basically all traction control. I have traction control set to off in the options, but I have it to 1% here. So that's how we're doing that right now. Clutch LSD, I've got preload set to 90 NM, which I think default it's at 100. It feels pretty good at both. Maybe even go to 80, but I haven't tried it. Feels pretty good the way it is. Clutches I don't think I've touched. This power ramp, I'm not sure where this started. I had tried it. I was all the way up to 90 on both of these at one point, and then the car was way too out of control, so I started backing them down a bit with the preload set a bit higher. It was pretty decent. Rear end was spinning up though way too much, so I just kept changing. I went to 50 on this. Felt pretty good at like I think I was like 200 on the preload at one point. So I decided we'll drop it back down since I was still spinning the wheels, and now it's pretty good where it only really spins not a whole lot. Only if I really drive poorly. Viscous lock. I did turn the viscous LSD on, and I kept it pretty low at 300. I think it's kind of like in the middle, I think, because it goes to 0. Okay, so and 500 is the max, so it's actually a little bit stiffer, which gives better. Higher viscous locking will add stability during turn-in as well as traction on power during corner exits. Too much, however, can cause too much resistance to chassis yaw, which will create understeer. Much like with a spool, it can also cause excess drag on the driveline by generating too much viscous friction when not all of it is needed to balance the car. So it's kind of interesting. All right, so that's the tune. Let's go take some laps against the Ghost, shall we? All right, we're going to take our 3 laps in the Bentley Continental against the first place Ghost. As much as I would like to beat him, I don't know that I will, but I do want to stay close to him, and I'd like to beat my own time. Brake late. That wasn't nearly as slow as I thought it was. I broke quite a bit early there. It's not showing my fast time in this car. It's 2:04.9 that I've set for myself. Alright, brake a little late down here. On the gas, so keep that rear end steady. Man, gotta be easy with the gas in this car sometimes. She handles well, but she will bite you if you're not careful. That's a tricky part right there in any car, especially rear wheel drives. They really like to spin the rear up there. They like to spin the rear up here. This corner sometimes, not in this car though. We'll go to 5th gear. Duck her in, duck her in, duck her in. Get close to that wall. That was pretty good exit speed there. Get her slowed down. Not bad, not bad. All right, we're gonna just ease onto the brake. Pull as much speed down here through as we can. Keep her close to the wall. On the gas a bit, on the brake a bit. Duck her in. Oh, it's a wall hit. Oh, another wall hit. Oh, that's gonna cost me big time. Get her stopped. Out we go. Didn't cost me as much as it could have, but oh man, I would have been real close if I wouldn't have done that. That's fine. 43.9, that's not awful for what happened, I'll tell you that right now. 43.1 on the first sector, not as good as I've done, but it's close. Alright, see if we can get this last sector good as well. I seem to, he brakes right there. Duck her into 3rd gear. Keep her steady. Try not to get the back end loose at all. Get the back end loose, you're just losing grip. 3rd gear, dive it in, on the gas. Felt like my exit was fairly decent there anyway. Not bad for me on that last sector. Second gear, diving in on the gas slightly and on it. That felt pretty good out of there that time. Are we gonna run on him? Sometimes I can get a run on him, beat him down the straight. That first corner is so important in every car. It'll make or break you on your first sector. Brake late. Third gear, dive it in on the gas. Hold her steady. Oh, that felt pretty good through there. We are on top of him. Duck it in, a little bit of brake. Third gear, second gear. A little bit of loosey back end, but that's okay. It felt okay. A little bit loose there as well. Keep her tighty. Keep her tighty. Into third, fourth. We're gonna go into fifth before the hill. Duck it in, duck it in. That felt pretty good. Keep her on the inside. I'm gonna just ease into the brake, ease into the brake. More brake. Keep her steady. Second gear. Stay close to the wall. Dive it in. Go, 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 go. He lost me a bit there. It's a bit quicker than I am through there. Second gear, brake, get her stopped, and on it, on it, on it. Not bad. Ooh, this one's got me breathing pretty hard. Pretty close to him. 43.7, that's pretty good. Oh, we are in business here, boys. All right, we got to make our third sector worth it. Here we go. I'm gonna hold third gear through this corner down here again. Brake right at the black barrier. Third gear, dive it in. Don't get too loose. Oh man, that's gonna cost me. We're on lap 2, right? We are. Brakes, brakes, brakes. Second gear, get her tucked in on the gas. Oh man, it's not bad. It's not bad. What's it gonna be? Oh, 2:05.1. All right, we're gonna take our third and final lap with the Bentley. Man, I was on a really good pace my last lap. I've been trying to beat this time. And while I was on pace, I was actually ahead of him for all the way up to the top of the hill. Getting faster. Dive her in, easy, not bad. That was pretty decent. I don't think I'm gonna get quite the run I did the last lap I tried, but that's still pretty good. Pretty decent run here. We're gonna be inside the Ghost again, I believe. You have to catch that. You need to get that counter steer right. Man, this car is so much fun. He's on the razor edge with it for sure. It's definitely a very lively GT3 car, I'll give it that. Fifth gear. Hold it steady, hold it. Nice. Duck her in, duck her in, duck her in. On throttle. It's a little bit quicker there than I am. Fourth gear. Third gear. Ride it, ride it. Second gear. Oh, come on, baby. Come on, baby, let's go. Oh, my heart's racing. Sorry if that was a little loud. I am really excited right now. Oh, my heart's racing. Come on, I don't even care. I know I was ahead of him, it's fine. Come on, baby. Get her tighty on the gas. Come on, let's beat my other time. That's real close. Yes, I got it. Oh, I don't even care that I didn't beat him. Woo! Oh, that was, wow, my heart is racing. I was real close to beating him. That last sector I have got to work out. That actually, yeah, I was 0.2 off of my best third sector, which still wouldn't have beat him, but man, that was good. Oh. did it finally. That is really exciting. Whew. Persevered finally. Thank you, Bentley. You were nowhere near the, wouldn't call it a headache, but that Audi GT3. Nice. That's what I was looking for. So, we took second place with that car. The 204.734. We're 0.377 behind first place, who, like I said, was on the default, which is amazing. Him and JSR Soimai, that guy ran the default in the Audi as well, I believe. I think he was the one I was actually going for. Yeah, he was. So, I am very pleased with that. I was in third before this. No, I was in fourth. No. Yeah, I was in fourth before. Whew, all right. Awesome. I am more than pleased with that. I want to see. See, why does it do this? So is it this leaderboard is the strangest thing. Okay. So let's go see what our next car on the list is, shall we? Car number 25. It is the LMP 900 Bentley Speed 8. Rear-wheel drive, 6-speed sequential, V8 engine, 203 miles an hour top end. We'll be seeing close to that down the back straight on the mountain, I believe. 3.2 seconds, 0 to 100 acceleration. That's pretty good. 625 horsepower and 2019 pounds. I've driven this car in the past, and I think I like it more than the Audi, but I'm kind of curious. So 625, 2019. I want to see. So the Audi is actually a little bit lighter. Has a little bit less horsepower because it's lighter, I assume. But it has a worse 0 to 100? Is that what I'm seeing? It is. Oh, wait. 3.20. Was that 3.19? Oh, okay. So a little bit of a difference. All right. So that's going to be car number 25. All right, everybody. Hope everybody enjoyed. And I will talk to everybody next time.